be asking him some questions about what inspired him to go to law school, what inspired him to become an IP attorney, and just a little bit about his life.
Consistency and just not giving up.
Today I'm going to be talking with Antoine Wade, a trademark attorney at Trademarkia, and he's going to explain to us what inspires him every day and what led him to go to law school. Thank you, Antoine, for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Raj. How are you?
I'm good. So tell me about yourself. Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, so Antoine Wade grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, specifically the Prince George's County, Maryland area, right outside of D.C. Went to law school at North Carolina Central University, did my undergraduate at Morehouse College, licensed and passed the bar in the District of Columbia, and now I'm here as a trademark attorney at Trademarkia.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell me about what inspired you to go to law.
So I grew up as an athlete, sports and entertainment, my whole life. And so that is what really inspired me to go to law school, right? But my first exposure to the law was through my mom. My mother, she worked at the Department of Justice in the criminal division in DC for 30 plus years. And so that was my first exposure to the law, but I received the inspiration to go to law school through sports and entertainment.
You didn't want to do criminal law?
No, I thought I did. I thought I did, and then I realized, after an internship at the Department of Justice in the criminal division, I realized that it wasn't for me.
Yeah. And so you played sports?
Yeah, I played sports, played football. I played a little bit of basketball, but I discovered a real true love for the sport of boxing, right? And then I also discovered, through family reunions, I was a pretty good volleyball.
Really? Okay. Oh, good. That's fun.
Yeah.
What position did you play when you played sports?
Football, I was a cornerback, wide receiver. And, volleyball, I would say, probably best as a server, but it's pretty much an all-around type of player, nothing really specific,
So why from going from sports to law? Explain that. I don't understand the difference.
So grew up, around sports, played for one of the, the top high school programs in the country. I have friends who are currently in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to that level. But, I always wanted to have some type of connection with sports, even though I didn't have a professional career there. And once I did some research on, different career paths within sports, I seen that I could be an attorney, and the top executives in, sports, whether it's for sports teams, different organizations or sports agents, they had law degrees. And so told myself, well, if I want to be an executive for an NBA team or NFL or possibly a commissioner, then I have to go to law school. But years later, I realized that having a law degree wasn't necessary to pursue those career paths, but I wanted to do it at a high level, and everyone that was doing it at a high level had a law degree.
I see.
And that's why I decided to pursue it.
So why intellectual property law, and how does that kind of help individuals and athletes?
Yeah, so I actually started with intellectual property law. I had a clothing brand in law school, and my best friend created a logo for me, and I had a colleague of mine who was also one of my law school classmates. She said, hey, you need to trademark your logo. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? And so she walked me through the process of how to do it. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool, And, coincidentally, I was registering for classes for my 3.0 year, and I had a trademark clinic class that was available at my school. Right after being walked through the trademark process, my school was offering a clinic.
Oh, that's great. Good timing.
Yeah, I signed up for the clinic, and I already had some, prior experience before even starting the class.
Right.
And so when I got to the class, I loved it, and I was able to get my first trademark registered, doing pro bono work in that clinic. And then I also realized that I had friends and family that was interested in starting their own businesses, and I realized that having that experience and knowledge with trademark law can help them. And it's very important for individuals to protect their brands, because you want to distinguish yourself. It's almost like you don't want to go into a war without weapons. You don't want to go into a fight without weapons or being equipped to win a fight or a war. And so that's how individuals that's starting businesses, they need to look at it, right? So you don't want to go into business not being protected, and the best way to protect yourself is making sure that your intellectual property is in order.
That's great. Understood. And so, like, what is, you started a business yourself, right? So you went through that whole journey.
Yes.
And that business didn't initially succeed, right?
Didn't initially succeed.
So, and a lot of entrepreneurs, they you know, what inspiring words can you give them through failure? What kind of lessons can they learn?
Yeah. Through failure, you will receive, I would like to say, data, right? Data that you can use, you know, in other ventures moving forward.
Right.
You know? So being in position is most important. A lot of people think that you have to get it right all of the time. But the most important thing is to be in position, whether it's a win or a loss, right? And then if you lose, you still have information or that data that you can take and apply it to something else. And then you just get better over time, you know, just consistency and just not giving up.
So what tips can you give an entrepreneur, you know, as they're starting their business, they're in that scary path? What tips could you give them? So
your best friend, you have two best friends. You have your lawyer and you have your accountant. Hopefully it's an accountant that has a tax law experience, right? But you definitely have to have, you know, those two people on your team, because those two people, they're going to be essential to making sure that you are protected in all areas of your business.
I see.
Yeah.
And you need marketing too, I guess.
You need marketing. Please outsource. That's definitely something that I would definitely advise business owners. Outsource for those areas that you're not experienced in, because it will get rough. Entrepreneurship, it looks cool, but it's pretty rough if you don't have the right support team and cast around you that help make your life easier.
So tell me, what advice would you give to some young kids that are looking to become lawyers one day? I know you like education, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Let's start with what we like education.
Yeah, I love education. I love teaching. I love participating in career days, helping young students just learn more about intellectual property. They tend to digest the complexities of law easier when you're able to connect it with pop culture and things that they have interest in, like music, clothing, technology. And so I love that. I have a passion for that. You're just digesting and making things that are complicated easier for the average everyday person to understand.
So you've taught at like elementary school?
Yeah, elementary schools, middle schools, and even adults.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Every day you're teaching.
Yeah. But my advice to a young person that's interested in maybe becoming an attorney or just learning more, TikTok is like the big thing. Instagram, social media is the big thing. And so the same way that you can see, the latest dance or the latest trend, you can also educate yourself on, TikTok, just simply by searching, using a search engine and typing in trademark law, or going on YouTube and just typing in, trademark basics. You can learn everything that you need to know about those.
Really good tips. It's really inspiring. So what's your biggest inspiration for getting up every day and coming to work?
My biggest inspiration is just, getting better and learning. I realized that, everything is bigger than just me, right? What I experience every day is going to impact, my family, people that I work with on a regular basis. And so it's the inspiration to get better for myself, but also to help other people be better and to help people learn more about, intellectual property and different business ventures.
That's good. Well, thank you so much. This is Antoine Wade, and thanks for being here today.
Thanks so much, Ross. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Protect your brand with Trademarkia. Register your trademark on Trademarkia.com.